Good morning. Thank you for joining me on this very interesting webinar, Digital Avatar of a New Professional. Actually, it's a series of webinars which I will be doing and posting on my YouTube as well as my website. So what is digital avatar? Digital avatar, in fact, means something really different. That's more of, what we call uh, artificial intelligence led, digitally created some avatar of yours. But I do believe that in this new world, all professionals have to have some digital footprints. And all these footprints need to be managed very well, impactfully, and making sure that they are impressive and are able to create an impact. So if you are someone who does a sales meeting, a sales presentation, a sales engagement, a general meeting online, you attend one or you deliver one, this presentation will help you a lot. So let me take you one by one. What do we mean by this? In case you have any questions, you can always put it in the chat and I can always answer them at the end of the webinar. So what is digital avatar? That would be part of the agenda. And how do we create, prepare, plan and deliver an online presentation? So this is more on in case you are delivering an online presentation to either a customer, colleague, your boss, anyone for that matter. So digital avatar actual definition is someone who is an online communication resource, a sales associate, a customer service representative, someone who advise, assist, help customers. And you must be getting exposed to such digital avatars very soon. But I think what they lack is, they lack empathy, they will lack, I assume so for some foreseeable future, they will lack humanity. So we will be competing with them in a manner. I mean, there'll be some time digital avatars will be doing sales presentation, or maybe doing a presentation like what I am doing. They just read through the slides, but they can never make the slides as impactful as we can, humans can. So how do you manage your online digital avatar meeting? That's what this session is all about. And I expect all of you to use this in your working life and have a more impactful, powerful online meeting presence. So digital avatar, your role can be a business owner, sales, service, support. Business owners can, there will be a lot of online meetings which will happen with investors, with stakeholders. How do you make them powerful? If you're a salesperson, how do you use it in your sales process? If you're a service person, you may end up giving a lot of options in the future on to the customer using an online presentation, and similarly on support. So some digital footprints which we will be talking about would be online presentation, which we are talking today, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Facebook, which I'll be posting maybe in a day or two, emails, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and we will keep on adding. And our social media or our digital presence continue to be some sort of increasing day by day, and we need to manage it accordingly. So let's start with online presentation today. So what should be your online meeting avatar? How should it be more impactful? How it should be more do's and don'ts of it maybe, and how you can create, plan, deliver a powerful online presentation. That's what it is all about. So plan, prepare, deliver. Assume 3. So let's start with the first one, plan. Now, I'm a great admirer of our, some traditions, and that's with pen and paper. So my first advice to you would be, whether you are making a presentation just like that for offline, for someone, for your customer, for your colleague, or you are planning to deliver an online presentation, start with the paper and pen. And I'll show you in the end. It's a great way of creating a presentation, because there's something with our hands and our mind which get connected. When we use hand, we are more intelligent than we actually are. And that has been proved by research. People who use Braille, because they use a lot of hand, they have their memory part in their brain bigger than what you and me will have. right? And because they use their hands, and hands are connected with intelligence to, in some manner or the other, biologically, evolutionary. So plan. So when you're starting plan, use a pen and paper, but start with who are your audience. It's a great way of creating any presentation. Presentations are not great that how they look like. Presentations are great, who are they customized to the recipient or not? And I always say that, in a lot of my trainings and presentation, that it always reminds me of that movie called Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, in that there is this band which Shah Rukh Khan is part of. And he delivers the band delivers a great song in one of the parties. And the band tried to use the same song in a bar where there are a lot of gangsters visit. And they were, hooted and thrown shoes. And, they were like, they're saying, what are we doing? What have we done wrong? It was such a great song. Song remains the same, singer same, tune the same, but the audience changed. The audience were not right for that particular song. So you should be very, very clear. Who are your audience? Who are you creating the presentation for? What's the goal of the presentation? What would you like to achieve after the presentation? If you don't know the goal, audience won't know the goal. Audience won't move where you want them to move, whether it is to ask them to buy an idea or something. Time, what time are you delivering it? It's very, very important. Because are you delivering in the morning, afternoon, evening, night? Online presentation can happen anytime. So you need to get the time right, and how much time you have, because you have to plan accordingly. You should not miss something. And finally, you should have the right location for the video. Prepare. In preparation of the presentation, the most focus should come on structure. And when I say structure, there is a flow to everything. Humans have this tendency to learn things with flow. If during the flow they lose interest, it's like playing a video game. So when you start video game, you start with low competency, but very high motivation. And then you manage a flow. So idea is, it's like a storytelling. It's like seeing a movie. If the movie doesn't have the right flow, it won't work. Right? So, you need to create that flow, and you need to write down that flow. Always do remember. Slide designs. Biggest mistake people do on slide design is that they put too much of a text, right? And you will see what I mean by that. They put too much of a text onto and expect custom participants to read. If they're reading it, why they need you, right? So as little as text as possible, right? That should be your idea. And have some impressive images, because people remember images more than they remember the words. And you should have a lot of question and answer, but make sure that they're your control. They should not be asking questions which breaks your flow. So if you get a good question, always say, hold on, put it in the chat. I will read it at the end of it, like what I'm doing it now. And finally, the deliver. On the delivery part, start with setting rules for engagement, any presentation, right? And say, that's the rule. If you want, you have any questions, please raise it at the end, or you can say, if case something which is really stopping you from thinking, I can always answer it. But my advice would be that you hold on for your questions till the end.